What knowledge might save your life one day? If you're a pedestrian and crossing a street, if you can see the sun's reflection on the windshield of a car, there's a good chance the driver cannot see you. If your shadow points toward the car, same. When people say to take an aspirin to help during a heart attack, chew the pill. Don't swallow it whole. It gets absorbed much quicker. When you go into a building, look for an exit that is not the one you used to come in. In an emergency, most people will head out their original exit, but you will head out of the exit less traveled, and it may make all the difference. Always leave your itinerary with someone. If you meet strangers, that is, potential bad people, on the road, always let them know that you are in touch with friends and family and that they know exactly where you are. You become less attractive as a victim. Edit. Always let strangers know that you have a destination and are expected at a particular time. 2. If you've been buried alive in a standard coffin, stay calm. If you are alive, you haven't been buried that long. Also, the dirt above you hasn't set yet. Most coffins are not built to last once buried and as a result have weak siding. So here is what you do. Pull your shirt over your head. You don't want to be swallowing dirt. Position yourself so you are as sideways in the coffin as possible with hands and feet pushing on the long sides. Push. You should be able to blow out one of the walls. Start crawling up. Do not panic. You may not find a grip immediately. Keep going until you make it out. EMT here. If you're ever choking on food in a public venue, do not go to the restroom to avoid causing a scene. Almost every death I've seen from people choking are found unconscious in a bathroom stall because they were too polite to seek help. Never use bleach and ammonia-based cleaning products at the same time in the same room. A combination of both their vapors creates chloramine vapor, which can kill you if inhaled. Check your cleaning supplies to see what's in them, especially toilet and tile cleaners. This is also why you don't use bleach to clean up cat urine. If a rhino is running towards you, wait until the last second, then sidestep out of the way. Rhinos cannot make sudden turns and will give you a couple seconds head start to run in the other direction. Repeat as necessary. If someone is trying to abduct you, fight back. Most abductors will just give up if they meet resistance. And whatever you do, don't let them take you to another location. If you are in danger or in need of help, in a public place, it's almost always a bad idea to just yell help. It's more important to be specific. Pointing at someone and telling them to call 911 will be more effective. The bystander effect can be a real itch sometimes. I tell my kids to break windows if someone is attacking them or the like. Yelling help may not get cops, breaking windows will. I'll gladly pay for windows to keep my kids safe. I can't replace my kids. If you call 911, always say where the problem is first, followed by the problem. If you happen to get cut off before you can say what the problem is, at least the dispatcher has a location to send an officer to check it out and advise if more police or fire is needed. Example. Operator. 911, where is your emergency? You. Help, I am being stabbed. Disconnect. Versus. Operator. 911, where is your emergency? You. 742 Evergreen Terrace. Help, I am. Disconnect. Location. If you are ever bitten by a bat, raccoon, fox, or skunk, go directly to the hospital. There is no cure for rabies once it is fully onset. If you ever are kayaking and become pinned upside down, swim down deeper into the water to escape the kayak. You may not be able to flip it over. If you ever fall, get pushed down from the platform onto the rails at a subway station, try to roll under the platform. Many stations have space there, like little overhang, for exactly that reason. If you ever use boiled linseed oil to treat wood, don't leave soap rags lying in the trash. They oxidize, and after a few hours can self-combust. If you fall into cold open water, resist the urge to swim and try to float until the onset of panic subsides. Once you have your breathing under control, you can then start to swim to safety. By doing this, you will not hyperventilate and avoid potentially drowning. To float, slowly lift your legs up. Keep your arms out at surface and lean your head back. Yes, you will get water in your ears, just let it be. If you have to get through a locked door, don't charge into it with your shoulder. Instead, kick it straight on next to the doorknob handle. This has a much better chance of breaking the lock. Edit, it's better to mule kick the door next to the lock instead of facing forward while you kick. It's safer for you and you can apply more better force that way. If your car is going underwater, an electronic roll down button will work regardless of the water pressure outside the car, but a manual handle is much more difficult. You also won't be able to open the door. It's better to have something in the glove box, like an ice scraper, to break the glass with. Mythbusters did a whole thing on it. That episode saved a woman's life. She wrote to them to tell them and Adam Savage cried no and he'd helped to save a life. If you're ever charged by a moose, get behind a tree. They have about a 10-inch blind spot and they'll lose you. That's what Ski Patrol would always say when there were an increase in moose sightings on the mountain. They'd tell you to stay out of the trees when skiing, unless a moose is running at you. Then find trees because unless you've got a steep hill or are already up to speed, the moose is probably faster than you think. If you're first in line at an intersection, look both ways before going when the light turns green. You never know when someone is going to run a red light. Never mix bleach and glass/window cleaner, ammonia. As someone who works at 911, I'll just add a bit of additional info. A lot of people assume we magically know where they are when they call 911, and sometimes we do, to an extent. When your phone call comes in, there's 2 stages your phone call has. We call them a phase 1 and a phase 2. Your phase 1 location will plot your location where the cell tower is, so if you don't tell us where you are before you disconnect and we have a phase 1 location, you're ducked if you're in an emergency. Sure, we can look up your phone history and see if there's any address associated with your phone number, but if there isn't any, good luck. When we get a phase 2, most of the time it's pretty accurate, sometimes even being directly on top of where you are. I think the phase 2 location is based off of multiple cell tower hits that triangulate your location, but don't quote me on that. I'm actually not sure. If we get an open line phone call, no one is talking, we hear stuff going on in the background, we'll get a phase 2 location and send the police out to the area. Sometimes they find the person who called in, sometimes they don't. Female heart attack symptoms are often different than those commonly described, and women commonly assume they are just fatigued, or have the flu and die as they do not seek medical treatment. Uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, fullness or pain in the center of your chest. It lasts more than a few minutes, or goes away and comes back. Pain or discomfort in one or both arms, the back, neck, jaw or stomach. Shortness of breath with or without chest discomfort. Other signs such as breaking out in a cold sweat, nausea, or lightheadedness. As with men, women's most common heart attack symptom is chest pain or discomfort. But women are somewhat more likely than men to experience some of the other common symptoms, particularly shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting and back or jaw pain. Women are more likely to lack chest pain. Instead, they may experience shortness of breath, pressure or pain in the lower chest or upper abdomen, dizziness, lightheadedness or fainting, upper back pressure or extreme fatigue. If you're a woman you know is fatigued, out of breath, has jaw pain and neck tension, feels nauseous, etc., they may be suffering a heart attack. Chest and left arm pain is not a universal symptom. Edit, panic attack symptoms often mimic heart attack symptoms. If you have chronic incidents where it feels you are having a heart attack, especially if you are cleared by an EKG or a cardiologist, it is possible is the true source. In this case, psychologists and psychiatrists are ideal for helping you identify, manage and overcome your symptoms as well as providing techniques to prevent future panic attacks. That's all for today's video. Hope you guys liked it. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, The best thing you can do is simply watch the videos, but if you really want to see the channel thrive, subscribe, like, comment, add to favorites, add to playlist, and share with friends. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Reddit and Insta. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you with tomorrow's upload.